First, protests continued again in Kenosha, Wisconsin last night, but much more peacefully than the night before when two people were shot dead. A 17-year-old white man has been arrested linked to those shootings. People have been in the streets since Sunday when a white police officer shot a black man, Jacob Blake, in the back. The U.S. Department of Justice has opened a federal investigation into that police shooting. Well, all of that has provoked a Black Lives Matter protests across the country, with top-level sports teams also now taking a stand. Wisconsin basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks, led a historic boycott of their NBA playoff game. That boycott spread to other sports, with Milwaukee baseball team, the Brewers, one of several to postpone games. Well, for more on all of this, we've got our sports editor, Simon Harding, on the set. Simon, first of all, tell us a bit more about this action that's being taken by all of these sports stars.
Hi, Ginny. Well, as you said, first time in history, and particularly for it to happen in the playoffs, which is the pinnacle of basketball in the United States, is something very big. The Milwaukee Bucks players didn't turn up for the game, so the other team they were playing, the referees, everyone was there. Obviously, this is being played behind closed doors, so there are no fans, but everything was set to go, and they just didn't turn up. After the game, they released a statement as a team, no coaches, nothing. It was just the players, the pictures of which you can see right here, saying, we're a top sports team. We're held accountable for representing our city, for representing our state, for everything that goes on in the world of sports. Well, if it takes us to stop playing, to hold our authorities, our police force, our government, our mayors, etc., accountable, then we will take that step. And that is exactly what they've done. And as you mentioned, of course, that's followed in the baseball, with both Los Angeles teams cancelling their game, rivals, so a very fierce match as well. We've seen Naomi Osaka, tennis's world number one, saying as a black woman, she does not feel comfortable playing in New York at the moment because of everything that's going on. So you really see that the movement is kind of starting to snowball now into something much bigger that obviously transcends sports.
And I think, as far as I know, this is the first time we've seen such big names taking a stand. How significant will this be really long term?
It's massively significant because it shows that I think sports has now realized the power that they have. With sports now being paid astronomical amounts of money, sports people are becoming aware of this mouthpiece that they have to do good. And what's really interesting is that the notion of sports washing, where sports, goes blind in terms of all the other problems in the world, that's slowly coming to an end. We've seen the Black Lives Matter movement, and after the George Floyd killing, having impact all over the world, with football everywhere basically taking a knee, raising their fists in support to the movement. We're seeing it in the United States, where before this, it was called, of course, the NFL, for example, was massively under fire for not allowing Colin Kaepernick to take a knee. He was subsequently fired. We know that story. And it just shows that now this sports washing idea, people are starting to set that aside. And what's amazing is we've always said, Saudi Arabia, let's not do events in Saudi Arabia because of their poor human rights records. But this shows that sports people in America and in the West, perhaps, aren't being hypocritical. It shows that America's got some deep problems, which we've discussed a lot. And it's good for sports people in America not to just go over it, gloss over the problem, but actually say, guys, we have serious issues and we're not going to play until these issues are resolved. And of course, this is a topic, basketball, a lot of African Americans play, NFL, a lot of African Americans play. It's something that goes very deeply to their hearts, and so they want it resolved because ultimately social importance of these matters is much bigger than sports.
Simon, thank you so much for that. That's our sports editor, Simon Harding. Thanks for coming in.